Hello everyone, my name is Francesco. I'm from Italy. Who didn't start from the name, but I'm the founder and the CEO of Fred Studios. Fred Studios is a Web3 gaming startup. We just talk about it. Basically, our vision for the crypto war in the next few years is that the gaming sector will be the real catalyst to the mass adoption. So basically, all the Web2 gamers will interact with wallets, playing the game without even knowing what's behind the scenes. So we are trying to achieve, of course, building a very good quality game that people enjoy playing on it, and onboarding all the Web2 users with a thing that is called account abstraction. So basically, you can, make your Steam account or email address, and something like that. Okay, today I will talk about some very basic topics about the blockchain. So I will start with the differences between the Bitcoin and the Ethereum blockchain that are the most adopted blockchain in the world as of now. Then I will move and focus on the Ethereum blockchain and the problems and the possible solution that we could think about it. I will focus on the scalability problem and talk about the Ethereum Layer 2 solutions with different types and projects. And in the end, I will provide a personal vision about how the Ethereum blockchain will be in the next few years. If you have any question on it, then you can, of course, ask me. Starting with the differences between Bitcoin and Ethereum, I will provide a small brief about the history, because I think it's important. So basically, Bitcoin was launched the idea in 2009. This is important here because it was right after the 2008 Wall Street financial crisis. The white paper was provided by this anonymous event Satoshi Nakamoto, but you probably have heard about it. So we don't know who really is behind the Bitcoin protocol. But anyway, the purpose of this Bitcoin blockchain was to create an alternative payment method that wasn't related to any centralized entity. So basically, it was enabling the transaction peer-to-peer, so a person to another person, for example. This was the main goal of the Bitcoin chain. In the last year, actually, something changed. They introduced something that was a little strange, but I will talk of it later. Ethereum. Talking about Ethereum, instead it came a little later in 2015. We know the inventor is a very important person, Peter Buterin, and basically he was inspired by Bitcoin, but we introduced a game-changing, let's say, that was the possibility to store computer code inside the blockchain, allowing the creation of a decentralized application and smart contracts. So this is a historic background. Now we'll talk about one of the main differences between the Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchain, that is a direct consensus protocol. I think the Crypto Inside UK told you a little about it, but we'll go deeper later. So basically, Bitcoin used a consensus protocol called proof of work. It's known with the meaning of mining. Okay, basically. The very difference is that it's how they work with the users. The proof of work or money works with users called miners that sort some hexadecimal hashes with very powerful machines. So basically, they consume a lot of energy. They're very huge GPUs and GPUs, like an entire floor of computers. But they work 24/7 only with the purpose of solve these hexadecimal hashes. Why we're doing this? Because the blockchain technology requires these real-time blocks, and to create one transaction and to save this transaction, it requires the miners, in this case, to validate the transaction. So to validate this, there is a very math complex calculation. In this case, was the solving the hexadecimal hashes. There are some bad critics against the proof of work consensus protocol. That is bad for the environment. Actually, with the new, solar panels, green energy, they are trying to improve these things. But still, like if we compare the energy wasted from the banks to the energy consumed from the entire Bitcoin blockchain, like the Bitcoin blockchain is not even comparable because it consumes very fewer amount of energy in total. So it's still better. As I told you, there are people that owns these entire floors of machines. And of course, if you, the goal is to be the first one to solve this hexadecimal hash and to get the reward in a sort of Bitcoin. So this means that the people, if you have more powerful machines, you have a higher chance to solve this first and receive the reward. So there is this kind of competition. Talking about Ethereum, it moved recently, last year, to a different consensus protocol that is called proof of stake, also known as staking. And the difference between the proof of work protocol is that it rewards with part of the transaction fees the stakers that put on stake their Ethereum as collateral, but use them to verify the transaction. So here there is a huge difference because there is no hardware machines. It's only you that have this Ethereum. To stake an Ethereum means to put on a sort of state inside the Ethereum blockchain that you can translate, like you can transfer with Ethereum, you can sell with Ethereum. The only purpose is to get the chance to get the rewards, let's say. This consensus protocol introduced a problem that is called the 51% attack weakness. What is it? Basically, to stake Ethereum, to become a staker, you need at least 32 Ethereum, but it's something like $60,000 right now. So it eliminates all the small holders, let's say. This introduced that there are centralized entities like Rocket Pool or the Lido that owns a lot of this staking part. And with decentralization that the blockchain should have and everything, it becomes less decentralized, let's say. So there is a theoretical problem that is called the 51% attack, that if one entity controls the 51% of the total Ethereum staked Ethereum, it could manipulate the network. This actually is not a really possible thing because if some attack would happen, the other validators, the honest ones, would flag this thing and fork the greater network, so it wouldn't make any sense. Okay. Other few differences between these two chains are like the Bitcoin chain, of course, has its own token that is called BTC, while the Ethereum chain has the ETH token. where I already talked about in the history slide that Bitcoin was born for being a decentralized payment network, while Ethereum to be a software platform, so it can be done. Bitcoin requires minutes for block time confirmation, like the crypto site UK said it requires around 8 minutes, that's on the layer 1, of course. While Ethereum, after the proof of stake integration, it requires seconds. And then other technical things that are interesting. Okay, now let's focus on the Ethereum blockchain. What are the main problems? First of all, do you know what are the gas fees?
I mean, it's been a long time since I did some research about this, but I think it's about like when you have a steep, like a coin, and you make a crypto coin, then every time someone does like a transaction, there's a fee for that's the gas we pay.
Yeah, as what's your name?
Ammar. Yeah, Ammar.
As Mark said, basically, when you make a transaction on the Ethereum network, in this case, there is a small amount of this transaction that covers these gas fees. Basically, there is a sort of inflation deflation problem pretty much. So basically, the stakers get some rewards in terms of gas fees. So these new rewards are provided by the ones who pay for the transaction fee. So there is like a sort of inflation, and the price of the Ethereum token does get to reflect this situation. For during the bull market, like last year or 2 years ago, there were a lot of problems regarding the network congestion. So basically, when a lot of people in the same time were trying to make a transaction inside the Ethereum Layer 1 blockchain, like they are trying to buy an NFT of one monkey, okay, for example, they all want that monkey because it will achieve a lot of huge price after the initial sale. That's the use for example. When a lot of people are doing this at the same time, the network gets congested. So the gas fees price increase. And when there is a normal condition and you make a transaction, you pay something like 50 cents, okay, dollars. In this situation, people paid also something like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this money were down, basically. They were this money. So this is a very important problem that happens inside the layer 1 of Ethereum. Another problem is the one I explained before about the possible centralization with the proof of stake successful profitable. And then there is the upgradability and scalability problems. About the scalability problem, I will talk later. So yeah, let's move on. What are the possible solutions that Vitalik Buterin thought about Ethereum? So yeah, we'll go quick because it's not really interesting. But first of all, the merge. It's divided in 5 different steps. The merge is the one that already happened. So the migration from the proof of work to the proof of stake. The third, we'll talk about this later. So basically, it's create a more scalable system. So we'll talk about the layer choose. The score, that is create a better decentralized network. The badge that aim to reduce the computational cost, and then the splurge that basically fix all the other problems that have already been solved. Okay, now let's introduce the Ethereum Layer 2 solutions. I think the Crypto Insight UK told about this a little, but yeah, I will draw a little deeper on it. So basically, what is a layer 2 solution? In this case, I will talk about Ethereum, but there are a lot of layer 2 also on the Bitcoin network, which other. So, according to Vitalik Buterin, there is a thing called a blockchain trilemma. Trilemma because there are three things. The first one is that the perfect blockchain is secure, decentralized, and scalable. According to him, this is not achievable with only one blockchain. So basically, what he thought is to have the Ethereum Layer 1 blockchain to provide both the decentralization and the security, while to delegate the scalability to other solutions, but in this case are the Ethereum Layer 2 solutions. So their purpose is to extend the Ethereum Layer 1 and increase the speed and throughput of all the transactions, and at the same time reduce the gas fees. All this layer 2 solution concept is based on the rollups. So basically, a rollup is a batch of hundreds or thousands of transactions that are executed off-chain and that post some data into the layer 1 blockchain as one single transaction. So basically, they take all these transactions, they compress them, and they post the data on the layer 1. Okay. So there are two types of rollups. The first one that is called optimistic rollups, and the second one is called zero knowledge rollups. As of now, the optimistic ones they got a lot of attention. They are the most adopted ones, let's say. Why? Because they are easier to implement. So what the optimistic rollup is doing is that it assumes that the transaction is correct. So there is no problem inside the transaction, and only if someone tell this is not correct, he will post the proof, and like if the validator wasn't saying the graph, you will get like a bad, let's say. There is a time window to verify this, the correctness of this transaction, and generally it's around 1-2 weeks. And for the same reason, if you want to withdraw some Ether from the layer 2 within an optimistic rollup to the layer 1, you need something like 1 or 2 weeks. That is a lot of time. As I told you before, they are easier to implement. It means that they are EVM compatible as default. So what does this mean, this EVM? Basically, you can create smart contracts inside the layer 2 without doing any other thing. And what the smart contract is doing is like storing computer code. So you can create the app, the centralized app inside the more optimized blockchain. Talk about the zero knowledge rollups. They are more complex, but they're safer, let's say, because the batch of transactions they are posting to layer 1, and they are always verified. So they create the CP zero knowledge proof. For this reason, the smart contract of the zero knowledge are written in the layer 1, so it takes a very short time to withdraw the currency, something like 40 minutes. The problem is that they are not EVM compatible, so you can't by default create a smart contract. You need to have a ZK EVM, that it means zero knowledge EVM. And there are a few solutions that are trying to achieve that. So the most famous project of the layer 2 solution regarding the optimistic way rollups are the brittle one that has something like 65% of all the volume on layer 2. And the optimism Then regarding the ZK knowledge labs, there are Blueprint, that was the first one, Tyco, that is a new one, ZK Sync, Starknet, and Polygon ZK. Maybe some of you have heard about Polygon. It's a very famous layer 2 blockchain. Actually, it's not a layer 2, the one you have heard, it's a sidechain. So there is a little difference, but with the new ZK VM and Polygon, it's the two real layer 2. Okay, this is the last slide. This is my opinion about the possible Ethereum future. Basically, in my opinion, the ZK rollouts will take over the optimistic rollouts because they're safer and with all the new optimization that are taking place, they will become ZK VM compatible. There are different types of ZK VM. I won't explain them because they're a little complex, but in my opinion, the type 1 will be the best. That means it's fully compatible with the layer 1. It takes more time to transact for the transaction, but it's more secure, let's say. And in the end, as you can see from the picture, we have multi-layer solutions. So basically, in this case, it's the photo from Starknet, the project. And there will be like an arm in the core center, there will be the Ethereum Layer 1 solution, then in the second layer, the layer 2 solution, and then a lot of layers specifying on, like, for example, for privacy, so a little more centralized, but not really centralized, and by like this. Okay, if you want to discover more about this content, you should check first the site of the website of Ethereum. There are a lot of content over where you can learn about it, and also Investopedia. But yeah, there are a lot of content about cryptocurrency, all the blockchain, and I think is really interesting if you're as well. Okay, that's all from me. If you have any question, let me know.
If you have a question, please raise your hand.
Thank you for the presentation. You said something about the need, why we need two-level blockchains. Let me build it up and tell more.
Sure, thank you for your question. Okay, so basically, it was about the blockchain tree diagram, yes. The blockchain for the actual blockchain needs to have three things: decentralization, the security, and scalability. Okay. This is the vision of the creator of Ethereum, that is Bitcoin and Ethereum. In his opinion, the blockchain that has these three things at the same time is not possible, because either it won't be decentralized, or it won't be as secure as a normal liberal issue. So in his opinion, he needs to delegate the scalability issue to another layer. So basically, to solve the hard fees problem that I spoke about before, if there are a lot of transactions happening inside the layer 1 of Ethereum, you will get congested, so higher gas fees. If these transactions are happening outside of the layer 1, like in a layer 2 solution, but they're then batched and they provide the proof. So it inherits the same security with layer 1, but they're security off-chain. This like, I don't know, if 1,000 transactions are happening at the same time, actually inside the layer 1 blockchain, it's only one. So it's more scalable, the gas fees are fewer, let's say, and it has the same security and decentralization. This is the main role of the village. Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you for your explanation. I wanted to ask, like, it's a Ethereum, like they require less lower gas fees. Yeah, but doesn't gas fees really depend on the market demand? So, what do you say is? So, are you saying Ethereum is better?
Thank you for the question. So basically, you're saying you're asking about how the gas fees price is determined.
Yeah, you said that it's based on the inflation.
No, this is historical basically. So to reward the stakers, some but need some Ethereum as a reward. These Ethereum are provided by the fees, the part of the gas fees that the users are paid to transact, to use the network. It's a sustainable business model, let's say. While the price, yes, it depends on how many people are using that network at this, like in that moment or that days. So yeah, if like for example, the next I think last month, the price of the gas fees were very low, something like also 20 cents for a transaction, so very low. But if I don't know, some big projects make a sale on one kind of legal action, for example, in that day, the price of the gas fee will increase a lot and it could last for, I don't know, a few days also. Right.
That's one question. Okay.
Thank you very much for this. I just want to ask, you mentioned like a few problems that like these cryptocurrencies run. Are these problems like purely software stuff? Like it can be fixed by better software, or like it moved on with like how do you fix these problems?
This that I already, this form that is already displayed here.
Yeah, I have these.
So it's how the network is structured. But there are some software and hardware, mostly hardware things that you can improve to fix them. Where inside the roadmap of Ethereum, like the computational cost in the batch step by step, Ethereum filtering and all the thing. Try to make some optimization of both software, but mainly hardware to all the nodes and everything that are restricted within blockchain. But yes, it's also software optimization.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.